listen to it. So what we covered last week is that there are two higher stages of meditation, and that is related to our variety of experiences. When we practice meditation regularly, we find those changes. It may be the colors or the visions, it may be the shape and the sizes, and lot of other experiences. But they are two higher stages of meditation. And second higher stage of meditation that we discussed last time is that there is an objectless state of the mind. That is what I just talking about. The real self in the heart, and we both are conscious. And when we both are, I am conscious, the reality is also the conscious. And but I'm conscious of the word, I'm conscious of the other things in life. Drop everything for a while, for a second. Then drop all the thoughts also. Drop the ego also. And then what is left? Only pure consciousness. That is our real nature. That is the goal and object of meditation. And that is what we understood in terms of higher stages of meditation in last couple of sessions. Now, here our master Patanjali explains one method of meditation, how it begins, from where it begins. So Patanjali has its own approach, Krishna has its own approach, so there are almost 3,000 masters. They have different approaches. So that we found in the third chapter. You may not be too much concerned about the third chapter. You may be more concerned about the content of it. So the Patanjali says there are three stages. There are three stages. Together is known as the process and the method of meditation according to Patanjali. Don't mix up with what I teach or what you learn in Saturday session. That is totally different. That is a different approach. So here it is totally different approach. So Lara has come here for her interest in the third chapter. The first four sutras gives us the clue that where Patanjali is taking us. So he says the first stage of meditation is desabandhasya chitasya dharana. Those who have dog and the pet and plus the leash, so they can easily understand what it means by the first sutra. You put the leash on the dog. So what you are doing, you are confining the territory of the dog, isn't it? You are confining the territory of a dog. Oh, you cannot move further. Here is your territory. What happens when you do it every day? After a few weeks, dog knows. Dog knows. I cannot move further. Now replace the dog with the mind. That is our first step according to Patanjali. That is our first step. So that is what is desabandhasya chitasya dharana. So the normal translation in English is concentration of mind, but that is not true. That is not true. The real meaning, according to Patanjali, you have to confine the mind in a particular territory. That keeps the mind relaxed and calm. But if you focus and you concentrate, say I focus on Stephen, other also people come into my mind, so I have to drive those people out of my mind, and again I come back to Stephen. No, object of concentration. So we are not talking of Western psychology, not at all. Oh, focus, make an effort. No, casually Keep your mind on a particular object. So you confine the territory of the mind. What it means? I used to meditate on my master. So what that means? Confining the territory. Sometime I used to see his feet, sometime I used to see his smiling face, sometime I used to see his eyes. Eyes is connecting to my eyes. So that is the meaning of confining the territory of the mind. Lara, it is not concentration. Patanjali does not say it is concentration. Otherwise, he should have said directly concentration. So when we keep the mind confine the territory of the mind, that is the first stage. The second stage, what happens? Second stage, what happens? I should give you some example by, So in the second stage, what happens? That mind is absorbed into the internal nature of the object. Internal nature of the object. One master gives a very beautiful depiction of this meditation, these three stages. So let me explain to you. And that will make a Do you see that? The top is the ordinary thinking. A, B, C, D are different thoughts in the mind and different objects in the mind. Right? Now the first stage of meditation where you are confining the territory of the mind on one object. Right? So now this becomes the first stage of meditation. So you may think, you may become aware of it, you may see the image, you may see the color of that object. That is okay. So we are not talking of concentration. So that becomes the first stage of meditation according to Patanjali. What we are learning? We have learned the higher stages of meditation in the last few sessions, but now we are understanding from where this entire process comes according to Patanjali. Now what happens in the second stage of meditation? That is beautiful. Now see what happens in meditation, what I have depicted. This is with a full circle, and now this is dot, 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 dot. What is the meaning of the dot? So when I put a circle, this is the external nature of an object. So in meditation, we lose that external object of the object, which we say self-absorption of the mind. Oh, as if the mind is absorbed, I forgot myself. Sometimes we say I was absorbed in the work. Don't you say I was absorbed in the work and I forgot even to take my lunch? Do you see that? Now, I'm just explaining in a very simple, easy term. So once you get to that point, that is what people and masters talk about meditation. Now what about the higher meditation? What about the higher meditation? So what happens? The external nature totally drops. Only the object remains. And now what happens? In that object, you have 4 stages that you have understood in the last few sessions. And then the very object as such also disappears. What is left? Objectless state. So why the objectless state left? Then you get what you get. The knowledge of the reality is revealed in the mind. Because the ultimate cause of anything, any object, every person in the world is only one. That is pure consciousness. So now if we study, so first stage is known as desabandhasya chitasya dharana, confining the territory of the mind on a particular object. You pick up any object, you pick up dog or you pick up God. So we are beyond belief, cult, dogma, etc., etc. The yoga does not believe in such good things for other people, not for a seeker. Then the second, what it says, tatra pratyekatanata dhyanam. Now he is explaining the second stage. Uninterrupted flow of the mind on an object is the second stage of meditation. And what is the third stage? Tadaivarth matra nirbhasam swarupa sunyam eva samadhi. So what it means? Tadaivarth matra nirbhasam. So when we start meditation with an object, that may be a mantra. In our journey, we use the mantra. So what happens? That mantra in the form of a word appear and disappear, but the very essence of that mantra remains. Means a consciousness of well-being, a consciousness of peace, a consciousness of wholeness, and a consciousness of auspiciousness remains. And once that remains, then what happens? Then the knowledge of the reality dawns. Now, all the three parts process of meditation is known as samyam. Trayamev katraha samyamah. It is known as samyam. Another definition of meditation, according to Patanjali, is known as sometime you are looking at the wall, isn't it? And you are not looking at the wall at all. The mind is still totally absorbed and you feel the sense of emptiness. That is meditation, if you are aware of it. If you are aware of it, that is meditation. That is meditation. You got it? Some idea? Some reflection as we are moving step by step. So this is what we are doing in this series. So once we understand then we can go deeper from the first chapter, that there are, Patanjali has explained about, I would say 10 to 15 different ways of meditation, and we will pick up one after the other from the first chapter. Samyama, Dharana. So the first step, holding the mind in a confined territory, is known as Dharana. Uninterrupted flow of the mind is known as meditation or Dhyana. And when the mind appears as if it has reached to an objectless state where the knowledge of the reality dawns, is the higher meditation. So in that higher meditation, then we have two stages. In the first higher meditation, we start having these experiences which we have been discussing in the last few sessions. So we have to continue the practice until we reach to a totally objectless state. Totally objectless state. So once we reach to that objectless state, then we wait there And when we wait, then what happens? Then the knowledge of the reality is dawn. So now take an example of can I address Christina? So we have lot of stuff in the mind which causes anxiety, duality, conflict, problem. So what we are doing in meditation? We are saying, empty all this, empty. Throw it. Don't worry about them. Don't start thinking about it. What you should think, peace and happiness is my essential nature. The moment the anger comes, cut that anger by peace and happiness is my essential nature. How dare you, mind, enter into anger and anxiety? Stop this nonsense. No, you are talking to your mind. That is very important. Why? Knowledge is very important. Without knowledge, you cannot do the practice. If I know the address of Lara, then only I can reach to her house. How can I reach to her house without knowing the address? So I must have a right knowledge. Clarity. So I have a clarity. Yes, peace and happiness is my essential nature. So my master used to say, always think about it. So the more and more your mind is confined into the territory that peace is my essential nature, one day the intellect will interfere to the mind. How the hell you are talking about it? Then you start the research, searching. Oh, let me find out where is the peace in me. You see that? The process is very well defined. Once we understand clearly what we do in meditation session, oh, I have lot of depression, so let us do the meditation, focus on the breath without understanding, without knowledge. So no doubt you feel very good, you feel relaxed in any meditation given by any teacher. But what happens once the practice is done? Your mind returns to the same old thought. The mind knows that, no, I have an anxiety. I am suffering. The mind doesn't leave that. That is why we need a knowledge. Are you getting it? That is why I speak a lot and I tell you, keep quiet. So, no, it's a journey. It's a journey. So you wake up in the morning and mind says, what happened? Heaviness. How dare you, mind? Say this. Man, happiness is my essential nature. Let me sit and find out. Thought associated with the feeling. Let me drop it. Peace is my essential nature. And you will find when you achieve a fair degree of success in meditation, these thoughts associated with the feeling goes away. You cannot prove through an experimental protocol in scientific research what exactly is happening. You can find out some physiological changes, biochemical changes. But this is what we are talking of, subjective reality. We are not talking of objective reality. Anything that is objective, the experiment will definitely work. But for subjective reality, the science has not created any protocol of research. That is what needs to be understood clearly. And once you understand, then the changes comes in your life. The life becomes beautiful. I don't know, I spoke a lot, whether I believe you have understood. So let us start our practice of meditation. So when you listen to it again and again, you'll find the change. So eyes are closed. Eyes are closed, my friends. Eyes are closed. You are looking at the body from the crown of the head to the toes. And now you see the moment you are aware of the body becomes steady. And when the body becomes steady, look inside the heart. Where our real self is located. And ask the mind to have the right knowledge. You see, I used to give you that step. I am. That I am is the existence. And existence is only one. I exist because of existence. So when I say I exist, the body exists, the breath exists, the mind exists, the thought exists, feeling exists, anxiety exists, reaction exists, pain exists, pleasure exists, but because of the existence. But the existence is not at all affected by, influenced by, dictated by what exists. The water is not affected by innumerable number of waves, small, big, or flood or storm. The water remains water, you see. That is the real I am. That is what the real self. And then I know I am. This I am is existence, and I know that. So when I know that, it means what? There has to be a consciousness to know it. Oh yes, consciousness. So why the consciousness goes through the mind and wants to know the entire world? Let us know ourselves. So it returns. We drop everything. Then the objectless state comes. That is the meaning of I know I am. And then what? I know I am. I know I am permanent happiness, bliss. That is the realization takes place in meditation. I always start from the highest level, so I have a liberty to go down if you do not understand. If I start with the lowest level, then what I will be doing? So now in that state, start breathing little deep, silent and slow. We will do the nyasa. We'll continue with the nyasa, the all-round purification of the mind. What is the purification of the mind? First, let us start the process. You are breathing little deep, silent and slow. Check that your breath is in harmony and the body remains steady. The eyes are closed. Now, we should not get disturbed by anything outside. We get absorbed into that. That is what we say, a seeker. Now our breath is the car, mind is the driver. So what you do is you inhale, move the mind inside the right arm, from the shoulder to the fingertips, in the space inside, and add singing also, Om, mental. And as you exhale, move the mind from the fingers to the shoulder, in the space inside. That space is the highway. The breath is the car. Mind is the driver. And the wisdom is the Om. What is that Om? Om is representing our real self. What we did in the first step. So when you are singing and listening, you know the destination. I just gave an example with Lara. Knowledge must be there, beyond belief, cult, dogma, religion. That is the beauty of the Eastern wisdom. Now move the mind inside the left arm. How you do it? As you move, as you inhale, the mind moves inside the left arm in the space, singing and listening mentally. Om. And while exhaling, the mind moves from the fingers to the shoulder. What is going to happen? Now I have translated. This is another translation. Now you can easily understand. The first stage of meditation, Dharana. Desabandhasya chitasya dharana. Leash to the mind. What is that leash to the mind? Deep silence, slow breath. Plus mind moving inside on the highway, plus singing and listening. Just take it as it is. We are confining the territory of the mind. We are not fighting with other thoughts. Let them come and go. The mind moves inside the right leg. They will go by themselves. You see, what is the process? Process is so simple, but it takes little time to understand, my friend. You see how simple it is to explain. I focus on Stephen, for example, but you guys are not disturbing me. Oh, yes. Not at all. That realization comes by regular practice. Now apply the same thing. You are doing this practice, other thoughts are coming. They are coming, but they are not disturbing you. Move the mind inside the left leg. That realization comes by regular practice. And the one day your mind says, no worries, let there be a millions of thoughts, but I know where I am. So normally, when we understand meditation is an effortful process, we destroy not only the journey, but also ourselves. We are going deeper in every session now. The real journey will start again from the next week. Now move the mind inside the spine from the crown of the head to the tailbone. As you inhale, move the mind inside the spine from the crown of the head to the tailbone. And you are still singing Om. Did I explain to you that the time comes by habit? Dog, even if you open the leash and the dog says, no, this is my territory, I cannot go out of it. That is what happens. Then what happens? The body remains steady. I started the reverse process, and now we come to the concept and the principle. So it gives you a fair, deeper understanding. Continue moving the mind during inhalation from the crown of the head to the tailbone, singing Om, and during exhalation, the mind is moving from the tailbone to the crown of the head, singing again Om. Where you are moving in the space, highway. So the knowledge is working behind today. And you will be amazed if that knowledge remains present in the field of awareness. The body becomes steady on its own. That is what our master Patanjali is saying. And I'll leave this. Let us follow now the second stage. That second stage, what we have learnt, uninterrupted flow with the mantra, and the third stage together. Let us see how it works. So, first line, singing, listening. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Because you did the previous step of nyasa, and that helps our first stage of meditation. So that's why I said, okay, 3 times is enough. But in the meditation, in the second stage of meditation, we just understood. So we do it 6 times with a meaning. What is that meaning? Sarve, meaning is, may there be well-being in all. So I am seeing the well-being inside every being on this earth, including me. What I did? I lost the external appearance. That's how I explained through the circle. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. I believe the mind still lives with that knowledge, meaning Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. When I sing, I feel I am already there. Now the third stage is the third stage of meditation that I explained. The words as if they appear, but the mind is so deep. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. What remains? Only the state of well-being. What is the state of well-being? It is knowledge, it is awareness, it is your experience. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. 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 You see, you are doing everything outside normally. You are same chanting, reciting the mantra, but where the mind is? On the well-being. That is the key. You see that after so many weeks, we reach to that stage. Second line, Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Simply singing and listening. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. First stage is done. Second stage, meaning of the Shanti is peace. May there be peace in all. So now the mind is aware of the knowledge while singing and listening. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. So what happens? I am aware of my anxiety, I am aware of my fear, I am aware of the hatred and jealousy, and that continues. That can only be removed by understanding, knowledge. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. 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 And now we move to the third stage, only the peace. And that is why I explained not one time but hundreds of times that peace is nothing but like an infinite space. So every time you are singing and listening, your mind is absorbed into that infinite space. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. 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 I appreciate you all. I feel more joy when I see you absorbed into that state. Third line. So now you have already understood singing and listening in the first stage. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Second stage means singing, listening, and the meaning. Now we have been doing for many weeks. Does your mind remember all the lines of the mantras? Does your mind repeat during the daytime? If yes, the journey is very close. Sarve Purnam means completeness, sense of wholeness. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. 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 Now apply that wisdom. If I am complete in myself, is there a need for the mind to run outside on any object, on any person, on anything, on any event? That is the essence. So with that knowledge, let us follow Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Knowledge is there in the mind of wholeness, but because of the past impression habit, the mind still has a thought, but the mind is not running after. It says it's all useless, worthless, not worthy of trying. That is the meaning of wholeness. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. What a beautiful feeling and awareness and knowledge. And now the fourth line. singing and listening only. Now you already have understood the 3 stages. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Second stage, Mangala means auspiciousness, meaning auspiciousness. So that auspiciousness comes when well-being, peace, and wholeness merges together, becomes one. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. 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 Now the third stage, Mangalam. Now that auspiciousness is ever present in my real self. I bypass the mind. Let it ooze out, come out. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. 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 And now the last line of the mantra that we always heard in every session. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So that Om, we see that auspiciousness. And first Shanti is the innermost body. That innermost body is made up of ignorance, darkness. So no worries, you drop the Om into the Shanti, into that darkness. Second Shanti, when you sing in your mind, second Shanti is to the mind, the thoughts and the feeling and the sensation that enters into the mind at this moment of journey. And third, to the body and to the world. Just move the mind. Meditation is a movement. I think I cleared in a couple of sessions before. You have a liberty of saying Om as long as possible. Why? It is not happening with the breath. You're doing it mentally. Shanti, the mind absorbs into the darkness. Second Shanti, mind. Third Shanti, body and the world. Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Just continue by yourself now. Be independent. I see my mind doesn't Stop singing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Don't take your mind to the mantra. When you know the utility of a car, whether you spell the car rightly or wrongly, it doesn't matter. How you know the utility? By knowledge. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. What a beautiful session. Shanti, Shanti. And now only one Om and one Shanti. When the mind walking down from the crown of the head, when it walks down, Om, that real self is present everywhere. And Shanti, drop deep inside the heart. Check. Become aware if the mind is moving deep inside. The heart of yoga is the center of the rib cage. The heart is the seat of our real self, the seat of pure consciousness. In the front, it is the mind. In deep inside, it is the real self. So walking down casually again from the crown of the head, singing Shanti, by saying Shanti, as if the mind is going deep inside the heart, piercing. And if the mind says, oh, I want to stay there, stay there. Do nothing. You are already into the objectless state if the mind wants to stay there. If not, return again, walk down. Shanti. Shanti. A variety of experiences takes place here also, and our experiences continues to change. And sometimes the mind holds on to a particular experience. It says, no, I like this. That liking is the problem. It happens due to the past impression, so no worries. Now do nothing, remain as you are, as if you are in that state. But yes, if the mind shows some tantrum, you can walk down. You know the way. You are already into the state of meditation. So doing nothing, I always add as if it is the last step. In fact, you cannot say it is a step, it is a state of doing nothing, so that the revelation should take place. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We will return in a specific way and share our experiences. Bring your hand on the right hand. Bring your hand on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. I could see, Jerry, how are you? And David.
Just sort of deeper and deeper throughout the whole experience, and by the end of it, it was just, I could hear you, but I was just off somewhere. There was no boundaries, there was no color, there was nothing.
Beautiful. Yes, beautiful. I saw your face, and same with Jerry. How are you?
Yes, it was very absorbed.
Very much absorbed. Yes.
Totally absorbed.
Totally beautiful. You see, the knowledge is definite. Knowledge is required. Normally you say, what lies in a knowledge? Everything lies in the knowledge. How are you, Stephen?
Good, very good. My meditation was just deep.
Very deep.
I remember nothing other than heaviness of my body, almost to points where I thought I was going to fall over, but couldn't move. And then this warmth within my heart. That was from start to finish, and I actually still feel a fluttering in my heart of just temperature changes.
Yeah. It's a beautiful experience. That's what the progress is. How are you, Terry?
I had a very good and interesting experience. It was pretty deep and quiet, and I felt like I was my attention was going between, like I was in this space, and I was like verging on the objectless point, and then my mind would go to the awareness that my breath really wasn't deep, and I was aware of working on that, so I was going to go from there to there to there, and then it would go to some stupid thought. And it would come back going here to here to here, but it was all very calming.
Calming, yes. I pointed out, once the mind is absorbed, then let the thought come, let it go. Who cares? The mind reaches to that state of dispassion. How are you, Daniel? Isn't it?
Good. Thank you. So today I had a feeling, it's difficult to describe, but like my mind was hanging and going a little bit deeper and up, like just fluctuating a little bit. But it was very calm and very heavy in the positive sense.
Yeah. I like that expression that mind is hanging. When the mind is not hanging, that means the mind is caught with a particular thought, likes, dislikes, past impressions. And mind is hanging in the space. That is more beautiful. That's a beautiful. How are you, Lara?
I am good. I feel like I didn't even hear you during the whole meditation. It was dark. At one point I had like a little bit of light kind of come in. It was when we were on our left arm, and then I was just gone. I started to get a little bit cold at the end.
Yeah.
But that was
it. Another beautiful experience.
Yeah.
When you all guys stop listening to me and still listening to me, following the steps, then I become the least important for you, and the mind makes your real self the most important. You are success. We are not creating a cult or a follower so that the teacher remains important, whether you achieve success or not. That is the beautiful journey of meditation as told to us, passed on to us by our masters. How are you, Christina? Krishna is smiling today also. Yes, that's good.
Yes, I had a wonderful experience today. It was very warm, and I keep getting the last couple of sessions, I get to the state of like floating almost. It feels like it's very warm, and so I really like that, which is great. And I totally lost you, but it was I felt safe and warm, so it was like then all of a sudden I did hear you again. I'm like, oh hey, I'm still like we're still all here, and then I just then keep going. So yeah,
beautiful. Remember all the time, peace and happiness are your essential nature. Nothing else in this world. How are you, Leslie?
I am a work in progress. That's how I am. I did get a little zony a couple times, but I was very aware of discomforts in my body, my leg falling asleep, I'm super hungry, and my monkey mind, and just letting it be. So.
Yeah, this is only your second session, I think. Second or third? Second session. So what is important that listen to the talk and follows by the practice. Practice daily, listen to it. Not only after listening, recall what you have heard and think it over. So when you even think it over and reflect in your mind, that very discomfort will disappear in the next session. So we are already into the higher journey, so do not start thinking with a definite set of the mind. So I have a discomfort in the mind, so let me do lot of stretching before meditation, then it will go away. So that is a habitual pattern of thinking. So when you allow the mind, that if the mind goes within, it can easily transcend the body. So when it transcends the body, all the discomfort also goes with the body. Who feels the discomfort? It is the body or the mind? The mind. Mind gets all the experiences. So you see that? So if the mind is stripped of that experience of discomfort, as it happens in anesthesia, but we are not going into anesthesia in meditation. It is a conscious journey. Don't worry about it and don't compare your experiences with others. I could feel that in your expression. You have to make your own journey. Have a bigger smile that you had a discomfort. Tomorrow you will not have it. That is how my master used to inspire me. It took me long. How are you, Sangeeta?
सर बहुत बहुत पीसफुल है और मंत्र से तो बहुत एक एन्चैंटमेंट हो जाती है कि बिल्कुल जैसे एक कवच का निर्माण हो जाता है, उस तरह से लगता है.
Yeah, do you guys hear her sweet voice? She is very kind, very soft. She has been with us, I think, कितने साल, 15-20 साल हो गए? 20 years? 25 years. 25 years. So she says, she feels very good when she chants the mantra. So understand that. You listen to this today's talk again and again and understand those three processes. And then I translated that very talk into the practice also. So once your mind picks up that awareness, everything is good. You are talking, Leslie, of discomfort. I had one more thought in my mind, so I will tell you. We Indians are aware of there is the greatest epic text, which is known as Mahabharata. And from the Mahabharata, we have a text of Gita. But there was one character, not only to Leslie, but to everyone. There was a character known as Bhishma Pitama. So he was attacked by arrow. In ancient days, we have arrows in the bows. So there were 1,000 arrows were pierced into his body. So half of the arrow was in the front and half of the arrow was in the back. And then he fell on the ground. In that state, he was absorbed into meditation. One day we will talk about it. He has written 1,000 verses in that state. Absorbed into meditation. Vishnu Sahasranam unhone likha tha. Why? We are not the body. Once there is a firm conviction in the intellect, we are not the body. You are not the car. So when the car breaks down, do you break down? So once we transcend the body while living into the same body, don't have a misunderstanding. So it means we transcend the body, so should we die? No. You are not the car. It doesn't mean that now you left the car. So that attachment of me and mind with the body causes more discomfort than anything else. So that is all for today. Thank you. We'll meet again on Monday. Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Bye.